Go with the flow.
I'll just
He's
ignore
like
the
a
camera.
talk show host. And we're
Yeah,
on a
exactly.
talk show.
I got it. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Small Business 101 here on R About You. So as you know, there is a new two faces here. I'm joined by Tracy and Rebecca. Tracy is our Director of Marketing. Rebecca is our Director of Sales. So Spencer moved on to bigger and better things. You know that he's not here anymore. He is now working at a private equity company, so he's very excited to do that. We're happy for him, and yeah, if you guys need to reach him, I can send you guys his contact information. But today what we're going to be talking about is sales and marketing. Alignment of the sales team and the marketing team at a company, how it benefits, and yeah, so we'll get started, I guess.
I don't think we can be as funny as the two of you, but we'll try.
Yeah, we can try. Rebecca was watching the old videos yesterday and cracking up all day. That's
all
I
day
heard. But so what, in your opinion, Tracy, in a perfect world, what do you want from a sales team?
Yeah, so working with sales is really important for reaching your target customer and actually like creating content that is valuable to them. So I always like to work directly with the sales team so that I can understand more about how people are asking questions, like what they have questions about, what their pain points are, maybe what are some confusing points for them, either about the product or the process or the industry in general, so we can be helpful for them. And then once we have that information, we're able to create valuable content for the consumer so that when they're doing research before the actual purchase, or maybe they're just investigating, like our company can become a thought leader for them and we can answer those questions for them right off the bat. Another thing is because people are doing so much research on their own, like we kind of have to be there at the beginning of the process so that, you know, they're more likely to choose us down the line when they are in that buying mode. But working with sales is the best way to do that because they are on the front line. They're talking to the consumer every day. They're going to conferences. They're making phone calls, things like that. So that relationship is extremely helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think that sales and marketing are just an extension of each other's teams. And let's face it, most of it's all messaging anyway. You're telling the story of your company. You're telling the story of how you're benefiting an organization. So we should, in a perfect world, always be targeting the same message because the same message is relevant. So in our organization, we join each other's meetings so that we know what we're focusing on from an audience perspective and where we want to target, where we want to be, not only from a product perspective, but then from a client education standpoint and whatever the sales team needs, the marketing team's very aware of.
What do you guys do to stay on the same page?
Well, we meet every week.
Yeah, I think communication is the biggest
Huge.
thing. It's like if the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing, like it's just chaos and you're really not going to meet your goals. So I think that's like the most important thing is like just having a weekly standing meeting, you know, catching up throughout the week and just staying on top of like what the needs are and, you know, what both departments are doing so that, you know, we are working towards the same goals and not trying to accomplish two totally different things.
Correct. And Tracy and I, our offices are right next to each other, so we're in and out of each other's office all the time. And Tracy will join I meet with the sales team almost every day. Tracy will be part of that so that she can hear from the sales reps what's working, what isn't, and how we can maximize the efforts of the sales folks.
So another way that sales and marketing can become aligned is to actually train the sales team on the content and resources that marketing is creating, because these aren't only valuable at the beginning of the sales process before they talk to a salesperson, but they're also valuable throughout the sales process. So questions often come up, maybe somebody forgot to ask something at the beginning of the process, or people consume information different ways. So maybe they wanted to talk to a salesperson up front, but they actually would prefer to read a white paper or watch a video or something like that. So making sure sales A knows like where all of our content is, how to find it, and B, like what they can do with it and how is the best way to, you know, talk about this with customers. That's hugely important for any content that you create, so that, you know, they're making the most out of those resources that you spend so long creating.
That's true, and when you actually invest in marketing and lead capture, it's really important that you have a speed to closing that, or at least making an initial contact with that lead. So from that perspective, when marketing brings in a lead, sales should be ready to make that phone call right away, because the bottom line is, most of those are targeted, so they're vetted to a certain extent already. So we know the type of client that's going to be interested in contacting Arbite Software. We're going to contact them directly very quickly. And to Tracy's point, if the sales team is aware of what the tools are, where they are, and how they can get them quickly to the client, the quicker we can sort of close in and narrow in that sales cycle.
Yeah, I think, so when a company's small, most of the time the sales team and the sales and marketing is the same person. It's easy for, obviously, to be on the same page with yourself. But once you get to a certain level, obviously those two positions split up, and just making sure that, like you guys said, having weekly meetings. And not only that, just everything that we do, whether it's an event, product launch or something, like sales and marketing is always in the meeting. So it's, yeah, I guess that would be a tip for any small business watching, just making sure that you don't have meetings that that are important to sales or marketing without the other.
That
They
are
should always be in
siloed
the
more or
same-
less, yeah,
It's-
absolutely.
Everyone should have their voice in it so that they're on the same page with it. You know?
Yeah, and that's often a challenge with small businesses, because everyone's kind of like just doing their work and making sure that things are getting done, and sometimes things don't get communicated. So that's, I would say, if you're looking for ways to like engage your marketing team and your sales team, is to just invite them to a meeting, even just to sit in and listen. You may not think it's relevant to them, but from a marketing perspective, the more we know, the more information that we have about the product, about just what's going on within the company, the better that we can prepare content, we can do marketing campaigns, and we can plan for the future. Because that's the biggest thing. Like, the content takes so long to create, videos, blogs, photos. It's a huge project and it's a big undertaking. So the more advance notice that we can have, the better the sales team will be prepared in that.
Yeah, I mean, the sales team, like you said earlier, the sales team's talking to the client all the time. This has happened before, but the sales team will come to you and say, this feature, people love this, about this. Like, we've launched products and we wouldn't even realize some of the things that we've done were like what people actually wanted or really cared about. And so it's like, marketing, if you don't know that, like, how are you supposed to hit them on that?
Yeah.
Right.
So just like, we've done shows on like buyer personas and everything like that, but I guess just generally, you know, sales has probably got the most input on a buyer persona.
Yeah,
They talk to them
100%.
all the time. So just having that kind of input and knowing what the customer wants is
Yeah.
super important.
And total open door, like I said, when it comes to the sales meetings, Tracy's welcome to any of them, because I think it's really important.
Yeah, I agree. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe below. Any questions, comments? Give us a like. See what, let us know.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.